Good morning, how's are you all doing? This is the earliest that I've been up in about a month, so I am fresh as a daisy. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the Pick Your Brain quiz this Thursday morning with BT Young Scientist Exhibition and Science Foundation Ireland. Good for you for joining us. Fair play to come in and obviously massive news last night. It snowed. A joyful day for all of us. It's a snow day, it's a science day, it's a quiz day. So what we're going to do today is we're going to spend the next hour having a nice, relaxing time, answering some questions, finding out some new things, and winning some prizes. We have some amazing prizes here. We have an Apple Watch, we have AirPods, we have Google Mini Nest. I mean, there's lots of stuff to happen. So please make sure that you take part in the quiz. You're going to log into kahoot.it. The questions will come through at you fast-paced through this screen, and then you will use your phone or tablet device to enter in the questions. We're going to have a couple of practice questions at the start. I'm just delighted to be here. The BT Young Scientist is always a highlight of the calendar of the year. Great way to kick off January, and the biggest thing obviously is looking at not only the amazing acts that or things that you have happening on the portal with BT, but to look at the projects and the people that are really at the heart of this, which is you, the students or teachers that are taking part in it this year. So please make sure that you have a look at them. Today we're using the social media hashtag of hashtag Pick Your Brain. Thanks to Science Foundation Ireland, of course, for facilitating this, and the BT team for making this happen, and everybody here. We're going to kick off shortly. The first thing that you need to do, though, is to go to the link. I can always get that. Do I get it? I did get it right. I start over here and then go that way. Yes, kahoot.it, not IEIT. So on your device, your phone or your tablet, go to kahoot.it, enter in the PIN number, which is on the side of the screen there, 841329. So if you enter that in, and we'll just give you a couple of minutes now for people to log in. We're going to have a couple of practice questions at the start that are not worth points. The way that Kahoot works, for anybody of you who haven't done this yet, is that you log in with your phone, you'll see the questions on screen, and there'll be options which you will then use your phone as kind of like an input device or a controller. So there'll be, most of them are what is, and then you'll have 4 options, and you'll hit the corresponding color to the question. Some of the other ones are drag and then hit submit. The important thing about Kahoot, though, is that you get the question right and you get points for that, but if you answer quicker than other people, you get more points. So you have to kind of trade off. If you're a little bit unsure, do you trying to pull the trigger and answer the question first? We're going to kick things off now with our first sample question, and within this you're going to see your options, and you can then try out yourself. And it's a great question, obviously one that we had a vote on Twitter earlier on, which of my amazing jackets should we wear. This was the jacket that people picked. So the options here you have is, how amazing is this jacket? Is it amazing, really amazing, really, really amazing, or my eyes hurt? This is what's called a multi-select question, which means that more than one answer is correct. We want just to give you a chance to practice this. So once you select one or more answers that you think are correct, hit them and then hit submit. Some of the other questions that you'll try with this, though, you'll just hit one answer and it will automatically be submitted, but we wanted to give you a chance to have a practice at these so that you can win these prizes here. Rebecca is online with us from Science Foundation Ireland, manning the social media, who will be on. So if there's shout outs and things that you want to mention or things you want to talk about, use the hashtag Pick Your Brain, and send us in some messages. We'll be able to read it. You'll see, okay, so the most is really, really amazing. Get in, delighted with that. The next most popular is my eyes hurt, but it's understandable. Sometimes they do, but I'm delighted so far. That's a win for me, everybody. Yeah, see, told you it was fashionable. One more practice question before we jump on to the main quiz. This is just one where you have to move it into different areas as selections. There might be a little bit of a delay on this question just to how long it takes to upload this video stream. So we're giving you a little bit more time. So this one is actually, you're going to enter and type in some of your answers and then hit submit. So the question is, what do you think is the top Google searches of 2020? What do you think this is part of actually what we're doing while we're doing a quiz. We also want to see what do you think were the biggest things that happened in 2020. So if you just type in the box and then hit submit, then you'll be able to to submit your answers, and we're going to see what do we think, the audience out there, who do we think that is watching today, what do you think were the biggest issues of 2020? 2021 has obviously kicked off to an amazing start with the BT Excitists and things happening in the US, and snow today. The biggest news, snow. We have snow, finally. I'm so happy that we have snow. But yes, the biggest things that we thought was COVID, Trump, Beirut, yes, COVID-19, COVID, yes, that's fair. The actual top 4 biggest things that came up out this year, we have them now on screen in a second, will be the top 4. The COVID-19, of course, the coronavirus was the top thing that came through. Election results in the Kobe Bryant was the other, and Zoom. So most of you, if you're working or if you're in classrooms, most of us spent our lives on Zoom wearing potentially, you know, jumpers, shirts and stuff like that, and pajama bottoms underneath. So yes, maybe that's one of the biggest things or hits of the year was Zoom, but Kobe Bryant, election results and coronavirus. We have got rounds and questions for you kicking off now. The first round is on the human body. So if you are looking for the answer to some of these questions, look at yourself. There might be a clue on you, in you, around you. All of these 10 questions in our first round on the human body will be ones that you might have heard of or not. You've got a 25% chance, 1 in 4 of hitting the right answer. Anyway, this is a bit of fun. It's 11 o'clock on a Thursday morning. Let's have a bit of crack and enjoy ourselves. Opening up on the day again, it's a little early for me, but our first question is, where would you find the smallest bone in the human body? Is it your smallest toe? It depends on how big your foot is, I suppose. Your ear, your tongue, or your thumb. Tongue or thumb. It's kind of hard to say them together. Tongue or thumb, or ear, or smallest toe. I love the way that we have a picture of a skeleton. That's not scientifically accurate. It has, you know, a bicep there as a bone. Yeah, it's good work. Good start from us here, using a scientifically accurate picture to start off. But yes, the smallest bone in your human body. Where is it? Is it in your smallest toe? Is it your, if you've big feet or small feet? Toe, I wouldn't imagine. Tongue, it can't be. Is there? Maybe. I don't know. Tongue, thumb, ear. Starting off, where do we think our smallest our bone in our body is located? It's our ear. Yes, that 3 millimeters, the stapes, is the smallest bone in our body, in the middle ear. So most of you got that right. Congratulations, 53 of you. Good, overwhelmingly kicking off. That's a good start. Well done. Our next question is, from smallest to largest, what is the largest organ in the human body? Is it our brain? Is it our liver? Is it our skin? Or is it our large intestine? Is large intestine a clue, or is it a red herring? I suppose if you've eaten a red herring, it's in your large intestine. I don't know. Skin, obviously, yeah, could be. Brain, liver, yeah, it's your body in particular, relative to the rest of the things in your body. Is it the largest organ in the human body? Is it your liver, your brain, your skin, or your large intestine? You can't look inside. You can see your skin, obviously, at the moment, hopefully. That should be okay. Which do you think is the largest in the human body? Brain, liver, skin, large. It's the skin. Yes, good start. We're going well. Okay, a little bit less of you got that. Skin is the largest, but it also never, ever, ever stops growing. So if you're blessed, like me, with a big nose, this will never stop growing. The skin will continue. So lucky me, it will always get bigger. I'm so happy about that. But anyway, yes, your skin will never start growing. It's the largest organ in your body. Next question is, what does the average person do 13 times a day? Do they laugh? Do they cough? Do they sneeze? Or do they do the scientific word for farting, flatulate? How many times a day do you fart? How many times do the people in your world, in your class, in your house fart, sneeze, laugh, or cough? Think about these. This is the average over 13 times a day. What do you think people do? If you're sneezing, seems a lot. Flatulate, how many times do I fart an hour? I'm getting older and that happens, unfortunately. But yes, how many times do we do these things a day? Is it, on average, do we laugh 13 times a day? Do we cough? Do we sneeze? Or do we fart? Our daily routine is probably a chance to sit. Laugh. Yes, most of you thought flatulate. Way off. It's like 33 to 35 times a day that most of us fart. Yeah, laughing is the most thing. Now, that might be down a little bit on average, but yes, on average, every day, a person will laugh 13 times. So flatulate, so most of us do. The thing about Kahoot as well is not only how quick, it's also the amount of ones that you get in a row. So a lot of you lost your winning streak there, but yeah, farting. Wow, most of you think that, yeah, okay. Probably we fart more than we laugh. So that's okay, that's great. Next question, a bit of a really, in fact, gross one. What did a team of Dublin scientists use toe bacteria for? Yes, toe bacteria. Did they develop a nail varnish to help fight infections? Did they make cheese from it? Did they use it to break down plastics? Or did they test it to see if they could use it to clean water? I mean, who put the grant in for this? Like, can you imagine writing the proposal to, like, yeah, we want to make cheese from toe bacteria, or we want to break down plastic with anything with toe bacteria. Do you want to test it? How? Imagine cleaning water with your feet, developing nail varnish. I don't know. Yes, they used it to make cheese. They also, the funny thing about this is they also made cheese from belly button bacteria. Because like cheese is, like, it grows like that. They said that it tasted kind of like cashew cheese with a hint of foot. It's not what I'd like to eat at any stage, not even in the morning. Thank you. Well, whoever wrote that proposal, good work. Well done. Next question. If you unwound, how far does the average person walk in their life? So again, think of not just in Ireland or globally around the world, how far does the average person walk? Is it 5 times around the world, which is about 180,000 kilometres? Is it to the sun and back, which is 300 million kilometres? The length of Ireland, so all the way from the Midden to Malin out there, the 2 points, jump down to the top, or from the couch to the TV a few times, which I think is definitely a red herring. So, to the sun and back around the world 5 times, or the length of Ireland. How far do we walk in our lifetime? Also, another great excuse to have a picture of a dog with shoes on. If you've ever seen a dog walk with shoes, glorious. Especially this, it keeps the feet warm. Yes, we walk 5 times around the world, which is 177,000 kilometres. I don't know if you saw it last night, there was someone who was shamed on social media because they ordered a takeaway and the takeaway walked it to their house. They were that close. So on average, maybe in Ireland, we're not walking as much as we should do in these lockdown times. But yes, we'll walk 5 times around the world. Next question. If you unwound all of the DNA in your body, how far would it all stretch? Is it 1 nanometer? So 1 nanometer is 10 to the minus 9, so 9 zeros of a meter. So 1 centimeter, so if you have a 30 centimeter average size ruler, it's a 30th of that. 10 meters, the length of this room, which I'm in, which is 10 meters long. The length across of a badminton court. Or is it 200 billion kilometers? So a nanometer, a centimeter, or 10 meters, or 200 billion kilometers. DNA, obviously, what makes it up. Actually, that's how they came up with the name for DNA, was actually when they discovered it. I've made this discovery. Ta-da! And they were like, what do I call it? DNA? And that, no, it's not. You can look up what DNA actually stands for. Yes, it's 200 billion kilometers. Your DNA strand is coiled up around the nucleus of your cell, and when you uncoil it, it stretches out to about 2 meters. But if you uncoil every single DNA strand from every single cell, it'll stretch out to about 200 billion kilometers. Massive, mahoosive, huge. Question now, what percentage of our brains do we use day to day? Is it 10%? Is it 70%? Is it 100%? Or is it I don't use any percentage of my brain? I mean, this is a good question. I like this question. But I mean, I always want to ask that, what percentage do we use of our hearts emotionally? No? Okay. Yeah, what percentage of our brains do we use? Do we think, is it 10%? Is it 70%? Is it 100%? Or we don't use any? I don't think we definitely use our brains at some stage during the day. Usually when looking for food or other things like that. But yes, how long? Is it 10, 70, 100, or I don't use any? A good picture there of someone trying to take notes, picture of notes from a board. The average percentage. So again, percentage, a lot of these are the averages. Yes, we use 100%. It's a common misconception that we don't use our whole brain's capacity. Some people even that we only use 10% of our brains or 70%. Well, you can see how that misconception has skewed the figures. But yes, we use 100% of our brains during the day. Next question about how much, a little bit more gross, and a glorious picture of a dog there, yes. But how much snot do humans produce every single day? Is it a litre? So think in your fridge, a carton of milk would be a carton of snot. Is it 5 mil, which is a teaspoon, like you put, sugar or stir your tea with? Is it 4 tablespoons or 60 millilitres? Or is it 240 millilitres, so a cup? So a cup of snot. Oh, it's not. So yes, a litre, a tablespoon, 4 tablespoons, a teaspoon, or a cup of snot every day. Look at the person beside you if there is someone there, or look at yourself already. You're producing this much snot, mucus, every single day. A litre. You're producing a litre of snot a day. Again, after the toe bacteria and the cheese and the snot, not feeling glorious about how my stomach is at the moment. But yes, 2 more questions in this round, and we're going to move on because otherwise I'll be. Yes, another gross question. Okay, great. So, if you decided to open up your gut, cut it open, and stretch out your intestines as far as they would reach, why? Why would you do this? How far would they go? Would it be 30 centimetres, the length of an A4 paper up the top, portrait? Would it be a metre? Would it be 2.5 metres, which is the length of a goalpost crossbar? Or would it be 5.5 metres, the height of a giraffe? That's our unit of measurement. Was it? Do we have a giraffe? Oh, I don't know. Okay, you're having a giraffe. Never mind. A laugh. Never mind what I'm doing. But yes, is on average, an average-sized giraffe, 5.5 metres, a goalpost, it doesn't say which sport, so I mean a goalpost high, A4 paper, portrait, or 1 metre, which is definitive, but not a clue at all. Yeah, is it how far if you took out your gut? Again, another gross question. But yeah, 5.5 metres. Yeah, most of you got that right. Well done. Yes, it is the longest. Your small intestine is the one that takes out the nutrients of the food that you've eaten. The large intestine separates water from what's left. And then you gracefully poop out the rest. Well done, you. Last question in this round coming up is, what is the strongest muscle in the human body by weight? Is it your jaw muscle? Is it your quadricep? Is it your tongue? Or is it your bicep? Which do you think is the strongest? Now, we had the picture on the skeleton. I don't think it's my bicep, but anyway, yes, the jaw muscle, the quadricep, the tongue. Quadricep, your quads in your thigh there, down there. Quad, you 4 of them. Quadricep, I think, is what it's called, quad. Tongue, which is your hypoglottis, your jaw muscle, or your bicep. Which do you think, by weight, is the strongest muscle in the body by weight? What do you think is your strongest muscle? Again, this is a question that you're asked about yourself. What do you think is your strongest muscle? We've got to go with, jaw muscle. Yes, it is. It's your masseter. It's capable of producing a force equivalent to like 92 kilos per square and on the molars, and about half of that on the incisors. But the strongest bone is your jaw muscle for numbing down stuff. And it's about time for 11s, so if you wanted to use it, you can. But for this moment, we're going to take a look at our leaderboard, because this is the end of the first round, and we'll see how we're doing. So change. Darren has just jumped up. Sarah, you are currently in the lead. Darren is second. Ethan, Connor, and then Sofa. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Sofa, King, Cool. Good name. Nearly got me, didn't though. Well done. You're in 5th at the moment. We've got a couple of shout-outs coming through now. A shout-out to Marina and Hannah. Hello, Marina and Hannah, who are playing this morning. Michael also wants to know if he could have all the prizes if he gets a super high score. Michael, yeah, if you get all of the questions between now and the end completely right, I'll sort that out myself. I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's a good bet, because I don't think you will. But yeah, I think you just aim, like everything in science, you aim to do your best and see where you end up. So if you're top, we'll have a chat. Anna and Sean, say hello. Hello to you, Anna and Sean. Remember, for everybody, just send us in your tweets or Instagram, just using the hashtag #PickYourBrain, and we'll pick it up. Delighted to see you all out there, ready to get going with round 2 if you are too. We've moved on from humans to animals. There's other animals now. Another glorious reason for us to put up a picture again. We're going to kick off this thing. So some like ocean related answers here, because see what we get out of this. We're going, I'm a scuba diver. I like scuba diving. There's going to be some ocean questions coming up here. Our first question straight out the gate is, how many hearts does an octopus have? Is it no hearts? Is it 1? Is it 3? Or is it 8? Have a guess. See what you think. Is it 1, 3, 8, or none? It'd be 2 hearts living in just one squid. No, never. Okay, it's 2 hearts living in. It's a different song. It's before your time, I'd imagine. People, if there's teachers, are old people, i.e. people older than 20, really old people, like really old out there, they might potentially know that song. But yes, how many hearts does an octopus have? So no, does it have a big heart? Just loving. Does it have 3 of them? Does it have 8 of them? Does it have none of them? Is it a different type of creature altogether? Octopus is one of my favorite animals out there. 3. Yes, octopuses have 3 hearts. 1 to pump blood around the body and the other 2 to pump blood to the gills. So octopuses have 3 hearts inside them, and also one of the most clever, intelligent animals out there. Next question coming up. What was the first animal ever to be cloned? If you weren't aware of this already, yes, some animals have been cloned. Was it a human? Is there human clones out there? Because I mean, we could have 2 quizzes running at the same time. Well, nobody would want 2 of me. Although the jackets would get more use. Yes, humans, sheep, goldfish, or snake. What was the first animal ever to be cloned? Was it a human? Was it a sheep? Was it a gold? Maybe it was goldfish, and that's why they all look the same and they all say the same. And maybe Bob was the name of the person who came up with the cloning technology, and that's why they're always going, Bob. I did say in a tweet earlier on that I wanted one good joke. So far, we haven't hit it. But yes, first person, place, animal, thing to be cloned. Sheep, yes, it was a sheep. Dolly was her name-o. She was cloned. Actually, Scottish scientists, as far as I'm aware, were the ones who cloned Dolly the sheep way back when. But yes, sheep was the first one to be cloned. Next question, back to our ocean, diving into the deep. How many bones does a shark have? Is it 350? Is it none? Is it 45? Or is it 100? Yeah, how many bones does a shark have? As soon as I see a shark, I always want to go do, and start singing a Baby Shark. But once I do that, it'll be stuck in everybody's head for just going Baby Shark do for the whole day. And that is a cruel thing to do. So I don't want to go do more than once, and hopefully it doesn't get stuck in any of your heads. You're welcome. Yeah, how many bones? Adults obviously have bones in the body. Kids have bones in the body. Do sharks? Do they have 350 of them? 45, 100, or none? None. Sharks are made, their bones are, actually, they don't, it's made of cartilage. Sharks are entirely cartilage on the inside. Humans have about 206, actually have 206 bones in their body. Kids have more, but then they grow into each other, and then we end up having less bones as we go through our life. But sharks have none at all. It is all cartilage. Next question coming up is, what is this an underwater image of? Took ages to get this. Jellyfish, chicken egg, a blow-up fish, or a gas bubble? Is it a jellyfish, a chicken egg, a blow-up fish, or a gas? If you need to see what this is, you can smush your face up against the screen to get closer to it. Your active zoom is just moving closer to see what it is. A gas bubble underwater is generally a fart, so I don't know if your farts look like that behind you. Okay, well, it could be a gas bubble or something else. Surely a blow-up fish would just float on the top of. Well, I suppose there's pufferfish. Yeah, wouldn't float. A jellyfish or a chicken egg. I don't know why. Both. Yes. Could be any of these. A, B, C. It is a chicken egg. Yes. Good guess on the jellyfish. It does look like a couple of species of jellyfish, but it actually was a chicken egg that had been cracked, opened, and then the way of the pressure around it made everything sit together. And if you ever actually have made poached eggs, you'll see that kind of thing. You know, just the colours have been thrown off by the scintillation in the water. Okay. Next question. Back to octopuses. I told you I like them. How many brains does an octopus have? None, 9, 1, or 2? How many brains does an octopus have? I understand if you're a little bit like I didn't think that you'd have to study up about octopuses for this quiz today. Soz. But yes, like I said, octopuses are one of my favourite things. I would spend endless money, few squid on them to go see them. But yes, octopus and squid around Ireland. Do they have none? Do they have 9? Do they have 1? Do they have 2 brains? How many brains does an octopus have? 3 hearts? Does it have more than 1 brain? It has 9 brains. Yes, this one. I've read this out first is amazing. It has a central brain, and then it has a separate one for each one of its tentacles to help control movement. That question has evenly pretty much spread. Lots of people didn't know. Mad question. This is one of the questions that I was hoping today people go, oh, that's interesting, and you might go tell somebody else later on. But yeah, octopuses, brains, squids, 9. Mad, different species, but yeah, cool. Next one up again, I'm sticking with the ocean theme. How humans have 3 colour receptors in our eyes. How many does the mantis shrimp have? None, 2, 6, or 16. So think about, like, the one I say about this is look at the picture. You'll see it looks like a Christmas shrimp, as in, like, if I was to design a Christmas shrimp, this is how I would design it. It's, I suppose, Manus the mantis, the Christmas shrimpy, or shrimpy McCrimpus Christmas. Lots of colours on the outside of the shrimp, so that means they're easily identifiable, or they're to blend in with other stuff, or to be potential mates or partners as well. How do you think they see? Do they think they have none, more than humans, or less than humans, none or 2, or more than humans, 6 or 16? There's lots of colours there. Yes, 16. So humans have 3 colour cones in their eyes. They're blue, green, and red. Whereas the mantis shrimp is be able to see much, much more, so much more in depth in the colours, which is fascinating, but beautiful looking stuff. Moving on to a different type of comparison from humans. This time we're going to talk about DNA. What percentage of human DNA is identical to that of a banana? How much in common do you have with a banana? If that's a picture of you, probably more than the average person, but what percentage of human DNA is identical to that of a banana? Is it 5 to 6%? Is it 0%? Is it 60%? Or is it 99.9%? Paris City used to have an ad where everything was 99.99, but are you 99.9% identical to a banana? If you find yourself really appealing, maybe. Are the jokes getting better? No. Okay. Yes, so how much identical are you to a banana? Is it 5 to 6%? Is it 0%? Is it 60%? Or is it 99.9% identical? It is 60%. All human beings are about 99.9% identical to each other, but you only share about 60% of your DNA with a banana. Well done. That's a lot of potassium for you to have, but yeah, there you are. There you go. You are 60% like a banana. Well done to you. This next one is going to be a different one where you're going to put the things in order and then hit submit. So you're going to drag the questions into a different place and then don't forget to hit submit. You're going to organize the objects in this order of least bacteria on them to the most bacteria on them. We're going to give you a little bit more time on this. Don't worry, there might be a little bit of a delay on it. So you're going to organize these objects in the least bacteria to the most. So your options are in red, toilet seat; in blue, doorknob; in yellow, mobile phone; and in green, kitchen sponge. Which do you think it has the least bacteria on it, then the next least, then the next least? Oh, sorry, no. The least, then a little bit more, then a little bit more, and then the most. So start on the far left with the least bacteria all the way up to the most. It's still on. We're going to leave it up for a moment. We understand that there's a little bit of delay in this. We have 50 answers in already, which is great. Good for you for all being around and having a look at this today. Which do you think? I mean, given the options, like if you had to kiss a toilet seat or a doorknob or a mobile phone or a kitchen sponge by the amount of bacteria, what do you think? Well, the order of these is yes. Ugh. So the thing with the least on average, with testing, the least amount of bacteria on it is a toilet seat, followed by a mobile phone, then a doorknob, and then a kitchen sponge. And if you for a bet or anything, to lick a toilet seat or a doorknob, I'm probably going to go with doorknob. Just how bacteria and things spread, and how you want to be careful. about all this stuff around. It's also the type of bacteria that's on it, but only 2% of you got that right. That's mad. Michael, you were the one who said if you got the highest score, we'll see. This might have thrown you off. If you're one of those 2%, good for you. But yes, kitchen sponge is the one with the most bacteria on it. Back to a normal style of question now next. This is one about butterflies. This butterfly one that we have is, a butterfly tastes things with which part of its body? Is it their tongue, which is longer than the rest of their body? Is it their antennae? Is it their feet? Or is it their butt? And they sit down to taste. So imagine if you had that, like, to taste it. Like your dad's made dinner and it comes out, and then you'd be like, what do you think of that? And then you'd have to, like, sit on it and go, that's delicious, Dad. Thank you for making that. There you go. I hope not. Their feet, or you have to walk in and just stand on it, or whether you'd stick your face in it, or actually just your tongue as normal. So which part of a butterfly's body do you think tastes things? Is it their feet, their butt, their antenna, or their tongue? It's their feet. Yeah, they stand on stuff and then they get the taste up through them to be able to identify what flavors they are about to eat, which is a little weird. The last question in this round that we have coming up is a slow one. It is, how long does a sloth take to digest its food? Is it 2 hours? Is it 10 hours? Is it 4 days? Or is it 2 weeks? So on average, humans, I think it's about 24 hours that we take to process food all the way through, depending on the type of food it is. And sometimes, like, if some people who like really burnt or, cooked meat, really, like that takes longer because it's harder to break down all the way through. But sloths, they generally move slower around, just like me in the morning. But how long does it take them to digest? Is there a digestive system as slow as that? Is it 2 hours? Is it 10? Is it 4 days? Or is it 2 weeks? How long do you think that sloth in that tree does look like? Why are you doing on my tree? 2 weeks to digest their food, for it to move in their stomach, their intestines, all the way out until it's popped out the far end in a slothy poop. At the end is 2 weeks. Wow. We're going to take a look at our leaderboard now to see how things are going. Niall has jumped up to the top. Fintan Lawler is up there as well. Aoife, Sarah, and error name lost. Well, I hope you're still going to be able to, if you do come up and win, that would be nice for you to see. But Niall, all the people who were originally, there's lots of chopping and changing in this quiz because the answers are so far all over the place. See where we're going. Questions are going to speed up a little bit now because we've gotten used to them. We're taking around. I like it. Connor has just tweeted us though right now. He's asking, will there be a jacket change during this quiz? Not unless you want one. I do have other jackets. I have another kind of snazzy jacket that didn't win in the tweet. But tweet in at #PickYourBrain, and if you want a jacket change, I will do it. But I will have to do it motivated. The production team are like, no, stop changing things because you'll ruin the sound stuff. If the people want jacket changes, then we shall bring it. And we're going to jump on to our next round now, which is all about general stuff. The first 3 questions in this are true or false. So you have a 50-50 chance of getting it right. We're going to jump straight into it, which is, if you swallow chewing gum, it takes 7 years to digest. True or false? If you swallow chewing gum, it takes... The picture there of someone actually blowing a bubble. If you eat it and then fart, does the bubble come out that way? And then you can bounce around. That would be quite a useful mode of transport if you could at any stage just swallow something. Maybe that's a project that at BT you could do next year, swallowing and chewing gum and having like airbags that if you're falling that the airbag will just and you'll be safe. There was that jacket that came around and had an airbag around your neck for cyclists. It was an amazing thing. But yes, if you swallow chewing gum, does it take 7 years to digest? True or false? What do we think? It's something I've heard people say before, but is it true or false? As scientists, we always want to look at the evidence, and the evidence says, no, it doesn't. It actually, contrary to belief, it just takes a few days to digest it. It's not good for you to do, but still, it is false. We're going to move on to the next question. 4. It is possible for humans to lick their elbow. True or false? How would you find this out? I'm looking at the crew here. Yeah, we're going to say, is it possible for humans to lick their elbow? True or false? have a think. What do you think? Is it like, obviously you have people who we've been popping elbows a lot instead of, you know, shaking hands or doing anything. Like, we've been washing our hands all the time. But if you've met anybody of the world, no, probably not now in lockdown, you're at home. But is it possible for humans to lick their elbow? True or false? What do you think? I love this question. I really do. I really like this question because I'm hoping that there's a lot of testers out there who are having a go at this. But do you think it's possible? Do you mean? Yeah, that's good. False. No, you can't. It's impossible for humans. I've seen people try this as well. Admit it, you tried it yourself. I did when I was looking at this question as well. You cannot. But hilarious if you did try it. And please do send us in a picture of you trying. If you think you can and you're there, show us. And then if you can do it, you'll be the first I've ever seen. Camels, next question. Camels store water in their humps. True or false? Camels, the ship of the desert with those amazing long eyelashes to stop the sand getting in their eyes. But do they store water in their humps? Their humps, their lovely camel humps. Is it true or false? They only have one. I always see sometimes they've drawn with two humps. I've never seen a camel in real life. Actually, well, I have been on a camel before. It didn't like me. I don't know why. But do they store water in their humps? Yes, they're obviously built to be in deserts. They do need to store water in their bodies. But do they store it in their humps or somewhere else? Answer true or false? It is false. Yes, false again. Camels store water in their bloodstream like us. The hump is used to store fat around it and actually preserve it. So they don't store water in their humps. Moving on to the next question. This is one that you're going to have to put. The next 5 questions are ones that you're going to have to put in order and then hit submit. So there might be a little bit of delay. Don't worry, it will pop up on screen. We're going to give you enough time to submit your answer in this. First one is that you're going to organize elements of the periodic table from first to last. So you want to put the element that appears in the periodic table first, then the ones that appear in order all the way along to the one that appears last in the periodic table. Your ones are in red, sodium, which is Na symbol, hydrogen, H, uranium, U, and gold, Au. Sodium is Batman's favorite element because it's Na. He just likes it a lot, so he just goes sodium, 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 which is na 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 na. Yeah, I know. I still haven't reached that one joke that's anyway good. I'll keep trying. I'll persevere with this. Don't worry. Hydrogen, the most common element in the universe. Uranium, not my uranium. Uranium. Gold, Au. Gold. Do 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 do. Another old song. But yes, put these elements in order and then hit submit. Don't forget to hit submit on the button there as well. So you've got a few seconds left. When you're obviously in secondary school, you're supposed to learn off the hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, and all the way up as you go on. But the order is hydrogen, sodium, gold, and then uranium. Next question coming up is going to be another one putting them in order. You're going to be organizing the liquids from least expensive to most expensive. There's going to be a picture of a liquid cat, which is fascinating how they actually always just pour themselves into things. So your options for this one are going to be black in red, black printer ink, Chanel No. 5 in blue, scorpion venom in yellow, and human blood in green. So put them in order from least expensive to most expensive. Whatever costs the least first, and then the most expensive at the end. Can you go out and just buy human blood? I suppose actually can you go out and just buy scorpion venom? Well, you can't go out anywhere obviously at the moment. Can we order human? Oh, that'd be even weirder. Going like, but yes, black printer ink you can definitely order. Chanel No. 5, yes, you can definitely order. Scorpion venom, I don't think so. Human blood. But what do you think is the most expensive and the least expensive thing? Like overall, like I mean, not even what you buy in a shop, but put them in order from least expensive, a little bit more expensive, the most expensive of these 4 things. What do you think? The order is mad. This. Human blood is the cheapest out of these 4, then black printer ink, then Chanel No. 5, and then scorpion venom. Human blood being the mad. Good though, because obviously we need to donate lots of blood so people can use it to have transfusions and to when they need operations and if there's accidents. Yes. Another question now, this time of putting things in order. So this time we want to be rearranged from smallest to largest. So we have our options in this one are red, DNA, blue, cell nucleus, yellow, oh sorry, no, am I right? Yeah, sorry. Red LCD pixel, blue thickness of a human hair, yellow DNA, and green cell nucleus. So which put them in order of smallest to largest. Which do you think it is there? So is it LCD pixel, sorry, thickness of a human hair, DNA, or cell nucleus? Which is the order that they put them? Do that. That is mad. We did give a clue earlier on with one of the questions with DNA. Think back. And this is when you ever have the, with science where you have the question, observe, predict, and all that. Observe doesn't just mean look at stuff. Observe means to think about where have you seen these things happen before, or where you heard something mentioned, or then go research that, or whatever else. We did talk about DNA earlier on, and that it was around something, so that might give us a little bit of a clue into one or two of them in the order here. What do you think is the smallest? All the way up to the largest. Smallest is DNA. Yeah, like we said earlier on, it's wrapped around, or in the cell nucleus, thickness of a human hair, and then the LCD pixel. Yeah, don't worry, by the way, if you're not getting so many of these right. The quiz is designed so that there's so much chopping and changing. Don't worry. We have another one coming up now, and two more of these order questions, which is, for this one, I want to again put them from smallest to largest. And this one, there's going internationally universal with this, is the order of them that we have is red, Pluto, blue, Asia, yellow, Neptune, and green, the moon. So what do we think is in the order here? Put it in smallest to largest. Smallest to largest there, getting up all as far as we can go. Pluto, obviously the non-planet. It is a dwarf planet. It used to be a planet, not anymore. Asia, the big, massive continent. Neptune, the actual planet. And the moon, which is a moon. All of them satellites, apart from Asia. Asia being on a satellite because it orbits the sun. Asia's throwing me there. I would have thought instantly, I was like, I know this is really easy, but I don't. I've a feeling that there's something in this that I'm going to be like, this might be one of those questions where there's, wow, that's impressive, I didn't know that. It might be one of those. I have a feeling it is. It definitely is. It is. The smallest to largest out of all these is Pluto, then the moon, and then Asia, and then I'm surprised at that. I'm very surprised at that. That seems mad. There you are, Pluto, the moon, and then Asia, and then Neptune. This is one of the questions where you go, wow, I didn't know that. I'm surprised at that. So yes, take that. I will check that actually after. I'm going to research that one afterwards to make sure. Next one, last one is about rearrange from the least likely way to die to the most likely way to die. A really happy question that we have coming up here. Are you most likely to die from a vending machine falling on you, from falling out of bed, from a coconut falling on your head, or from a shark attack? Now, this is a global review as opposed to what might happen in Ireland. Because if there's a coconut falling in your head, or you're getting attacked by a shark and you're in Roscommon or you're in the Midlands, it's unlikely. So this is a global thing. So a vending machine falling on you, falling out of bed, that could have happened this morning. When the alarm went off this morning, yeah, again, wow, I was shocked. A coconut falling on your head or a shark attack, what do you think it is? The least likely way to die all the way up to the most likely way to kill you. Happy Thursday, bringing you lots of joy. What's the least likely way to die? I'm fascinated though. I really would like to know the answer to this. It's coming up in 3, 2, 1. Shark attack is the least likely way to die. Then a vending machine falling on you, a coconut falling on your head, and then falling out of bed is the most likely way that you could die. That's amazing. Actually, and the next question, we're going to keep on a theme. We're going to actually keep with sharks. Actually, we're going to keep on with the next question with sharks. Is sharks kill on average 4 people a year. How many sharks do we kill in the same amount of time? So how many sharks do we kill every single year? Is it 100,000? Is it 1 million? Is it 15 million? Or is it 100 million? There are lots of different types and species of sharks around. Some of them, they're not all just Jaws around there. Like, I mean, think of the fact that like only 4 people get killed on average by sharks a year, and I mean, they got their own film. Like, well, actually, loads of films, and Jaws 2. It's a completely different shark, Ted. Lots of, like, that's mad. 4 sharks on average is all the deaths per year in the entire world. But how many do we, as humans, kill every year? Is it 100,000, 100 million we kill every single year, which is stark. It's nearly 12,000 sharks every hour. It's insane, the amount that we actually, and the amount just gives you the size, the globe, the size of the world, and actually the different amounts of species. Last question in this round is, how many pencils could be made from the graphite in an adult human body? Is it less than 1? It depends on how many pencils you've eaten that day. Really? 100, or is it 9,000? So think of an average size HB pencil that you have. How many pencils do you think could be made from you on average? Now, I'm sure it's an average. Like, maybe with someone here, it might be 8,999, or it might be 99, or it might be 2, or it might be, depends on the pencils you've eaten that day. It's an average. It might be a little bit different. How many pencils do you think you can make from the graphite in a human body? A mad question. So pencils there, I think if you were broken down, like, I mean, and your body is made up of all, 9,000 is the answer. One of the interesting things as well is actually if you get stabbed with a pencil, the pencil mark can last as long as a tattoo would. So don't stab yourself, but just in general, don't just poke people with pencils. That's just mean. We're going to have a look at the leaderboard to see how we're getting on and if it's changed. Niall is still at the top. Aoife has jumped from 3rd up to 2nd. Well done. Error name lost has jumped up. Fittilar, and there we go. Connor Marcello has jumped up as well. So again, changes, but Niall has stayed for the last 2 rounds up on top. Well done. We've got 2 rounds left to go. Oh, we've got 2 rounds or 3 rounds? We have 3 rounds left to go. So we're going to speed up and keep going again now. Or is it 2 rounds? I'm going to check now. We have 2 rounds left to go. So you've still a chance to be able to jump. Our second last round, our penultimate round, is who, where, what, when, and why. But before we do that, we're just going to do a quick shout out to everybody who's been tweeting in. Codal claims that they've seen people lick their elbows. If you have seen that, that is the first time ever. It's amazing. So if you've seen them do it, no, I just know. We checked that. And it said no. So if you've seen it happen, please do tweet and send it into it, and we'll be able to either inform the world or just do some research on them, because they sound insane. Laura in Monaghan is doing terribly. Oh, that's okay. You're here. That's the most important part. But is glad that she got up to join us for. Thank you. And she got out glad is checking what else is happening at the BT Young site. Good for you for getting up and trying this, and thank you for reaching out to us. Everybody else, tweet in at #PickYourBrain on Instagram or Twitter. You'll never know what'll happen. We might even reply to you with something hilarious or something else. Rebecca is doing a great job there, keeping an eye on things. Okay, so let's go on to our penultimate round, which is who, where, what, when, and... Oh, no, it's not. It's past, present, and future. I have skipped ahead, haven't I? We have 3 rounds left, do we? No, hold on. My thing keeps jumping around. There we go. That's all right. We're ready to go. Next one. So we're going to open the question. Past, present, and future. I'm flying around. I'm just excited. I'm sorry. Past, present, and future. Apologies. Are you ready for this one? Because I made a mistake, and that's fine, but we're going to go on. Which of these Renaissance inventions was invented, or which of these Renaissance inventors invented the printing press? Was it Galileo Galilei? Was it Johannes Gutenberg? Was it Leonardo da Vinci? Or was it Johannes Kepler? Yeah, we go. Leonardo da Vinci. Leonardo of Vinci, one of our previous quizzes, means Leonardo of Vinci. He was from a place called Vinci. Galileo Galilei. Johannes Gutenberg. Lived down the road from the Battenbergs. They made the cakes. And Kepler. Kepler was one of the names of the NASA space telescopes that actually was only retired relatively recently. He did a job out there. So was it Galileo? Was it Leonardo da Vinci? Was it Johannes Gutenberg? Or was it Johannes Kepler? 2 Johanneses. I suppose naming, if you have anybody named Johannes, potentially they're going to become an inventor. But which one of those Renaissance inventors invented? It was Johannes Gutenberg. Like I said, making the printing press. Great. Moving on to the next question. Since 2000, which one of these has prevented more than 20 million deaths worldwide? Was it health foods? Was it measles vaccine? Was it sunglasses? Or was it umbrellas? The picture is not a clue, but that's not to say that the answer isn't umbrellas. But which one of these prevented 20 million deaths since 2000? Was it health foods? Was it the measles vaccine? Was it sunglasses? Or was it umbrellas? What do we think is the answer to this? Vaccines, here you go. Like, is anyone out there got there? Anyone out there got polio? No? You're welcome. Yours sincerely. Science. Vaccines work. No questions. Sunglasses, no question about it. Sunglasses, umbrellas. Sunglasses saving the life, I mean, prevented more than the deaths, it's just by making people look cool. I mean, surely. Or, maybe. Sunscreen, I could say. Measles vaccine. Yes, 20 million deaths prevented since 2000. And they are not the only, that's not the only vaccine. Lots of them doing an amazing job. And we've got 2 more coming our way to help with COVID. Fantastic. What is the furthest thing that humans have sent into space? Physically, is it the ISS, which is the International Space Station? Was it the Pluto probes? Was it the Voyager probes? Or was it the Hubble Space Telescope? So what is the furthest thing that we've sent physically out into space? Is it the ISS, the Pluto probes, or Voyager probes, or the Hubble Space Telescope? Have a think about it. What do we think it is? Where is the ISS? Where is Pluto? Where are the Voyager probes? Where is the Hubble Space Telescope? Work it out. Kind of think about, go through all of them. If you haven't got a clue or an idea, see if you can work it out by just thinking about it. The ISS, where does that orbit around? Pluto, where is that? Voyagers, where is that? Hubble, where does that sit? So think about these questions. Yes, it's the Voyager probes. Voyager probes are the furthest thing, and they're still going to continue being the furthest. They're heading out well past Pluto at this stage, firing out and continuing on out of our solar system. Jocelyn Bell Brunel was credited with one of the most significant discoveries in the last century. What was it? She's an Irish physicist. Discovery of radium, detected the first radio pulsars, discovered the double helix structure of DNA, or discovered the existence of dark matter. Irish physicist Jocelyn Bell Brunel, an absolute legend. If you haven't read up about Jocelyn Bell Brunel, I mean, do. Phenomenal work, really, really great. And Irish, and a woman, and a physicist, and amazing, just fantastic. Discovered radium, first radio pulsars, discovered the double helix of DNA, or discovered the existence of dark matter. What do you think is the answer? There we go. Discovered the first radio pulsars. Just missed out on the Nobel Prize, but one of the greatest heroes and greatest scientists that we have around in Ireland. Legend, Jocelyn Bell Brunel. A gross question coming up now. Really, really nasty question, this one. This is a multi-select question, which means more than one of these answers is correct. Which of these did Romans use for toothpaste and oral hygiene? So more than one of these is right. Is it? Are they mouse brains, urine, oyster shells, or eggshells? So 2, 3, or 4 of these answers are correct. So pick 2, 3, or 4 and then hit submit. Romans used for toothpaste mouse brains, urine, oyster shells, or eggshells. Which do we think used for toothpaste and oral hygiene? What do you think? Hygiene, in fact, not hygiene. All of them. They're nasty. So nasty. All of them. Mouse brains, urine, oyster. Think of your toothpaste now and what you could be using if you were back in Roman times. Blah. Blah. Oh, move on. Let's just move on, please. Please, let's move on. Oh, no, I don't want to stay on this question. No. Better. Which one of these is an Irish invention? Again, a multi-select, so 2, 3, or 4 could be correct. Is it colour photography, guided torpedo, potato crisps, or the ejector seat? Or 2, 3, or 4 of these are correct. That's the picture that we selected for Irish inventions. Father Ted and Dougal, with careful now, down with this sort of thing. What represents Ireland more than, Father Ted? Great. Colour photography, guided torpedo, potato crisps, or ejector seat. You're at the BT Young Scientist with SFI. It's the day to learn about inventions, making, designing, creating, failing, and doing all of these things and coming up. Which two, three, or four of these was an Irish invention? We're here to try and inspire that you could create the next colour photography, guided torpedo, potato crisp, or ejector seat. But how many of them were invented by Irish people? Photography, all of them is the answer, which is great. Yeah, I just found that fantastic and just a lovely little question. All of them were invented by Irish people, not necessarily all here. Next question. Google's quantum computer can solve a problem solve a problem that takes a standard computer 10,000 years in 100 years, in 10 years, in 1 day, or in 200 seconds. So a normal computer takes 10,000 years to solve a particular problem. If you took Google's computer, that super quantum computer designed, how long does it take it to do the same thing? Is it 100 years, 10 years, a day, or 200 seconds? Quantum computing, much faster than standard computers. What do you think it is? The option, obviously, normal computers work in ones and zeros, on or off, whereas with quantum computers you have spin, so you have much more different options, so it works much different quicker, that you can have amount of data that you can store, amount of data you can process. How fast? 200 seconds. It's about 10 billion times faster. Oh, sorry, no, it's not. It's about, I think, is it 10 billion? Anyway, it's much, much faster. 200 seconds, it's much faster than it can do. I'm thinking about the other one, the next one that's coming up now, because there's another computer that's actually faster, another quantum computer, and it's actually only been unveiled really recently, in December 2020. This next question unveils that. Which country announced that it has built an even faster quantum computer than the one that Google have? Is it Ireland? Is it China? Is it the USA? Or is it Russia? This computer is about 10 billion times faster, apparently, than the Google one that takes... So a standard computer, 10,000 years to solve a problem. Google's quantum computer, 200 seconds. And then this next computer is billions times faster, apparently. Still lots of testing to be done to verify this and to be peer-reviewed and to be checked over and over, but it's only very recently been shown. December 2020, what country announced that they had built a quantum computer faster than the Google computer, which again is blowing away. China. Yeah, China has announced this, supposedly 10 billion times faster than Google's quantum computer, which shows you, like, if you've ever waited for sometimes for a computer to boot up or something to happen, it'll actually switch itself on before you've hit the button. It's that quick. No, maybe, I don't know. Next question is, in 2020, the Nobel Prize for Chemistry was awarded for finding aliens on Mars. They've been missing for ages. Discovery of a black hole, the method for genome editing, or the cure for coronavirus. What was the 2020 Nobel Prize in Chemistry awarded for? In fact, actually, Mars is, in our solar system, the only planet populated entirely by aliens. There are aliens, though, because they've been sent to them, like robot, like there's the Curiosity rover that's been sent. That's a robot alien that's been sent from Earth, from a different planet, to Mars. So yes, there is a planet in our solar system occupied entirely by robot aliens. It is Mars. But was the Nobel Prize in Chemistry awarded for it? Was it the discovery of a black hole? Was it the methods for genome editing? Or was it the cure for coronavirus? What do you think? Yes, is the method for genome editing awarded to Jennifer Dunay and Emmanuel Carpentier, I think is how I pronounce it correctly, for a method of genome editing. Next question. Excuse me. Which planets have we not sent a spacecraft to? Is it none? We've sent spacecrafts to them all. Is it Mercury and Neptune? Is it Jupiter or Mercury? Which planets have we not sent a spacecraft to? Have we sent one to them all? Is it Mercury and Neptune? Is it Jupiter or Mercury? Which do you think? There we go. And I'm just going to move down this because obviously we're running a little bit behind, but I'm sorry about that because the quiz questions are taking a little bit longer than we have. So we have 2 rounds to go after this. The quiz will be made available online afterwards. You can continue to play. So if you just run off somewhere else, it's up to you. But yes, we have 2 rounds to go after this, so we will be running a little bit late. Apologies for that. But none, we have sent spacecrafts to all of them. Bepi Colombo has gone to Mercury. All of them have gone out, even we talked about the Voyager probes that have happened. So spacecraft have been sent to all of the planets. Yes, next question is going to come up after, but actually we're going to take a look at the leaderboard now to see how things are going. Niall is still up on top. Darren is on an answer streak though and has climbed back up the top. He's on an answer streak of 11. Wow, that is impressive. Finta Lauder's up there as well. Era Name Loss still hanging around, and so is Aoife. Good to see you all staying around. It's chopping and changing. Actually, the people even just below are catching up as well, just where you know. Darren, though, on a hot streak of 11 questions in a row. You've got 2 rounds, buddy, to make a difference. So does everybody else. There's lots of points to be won. And some of them, questions coming up, are not easy, which is great, because, you know, you're going to have lots of different options to come up. Our next round, finally, not what I went earlier on. Now it's who, where, what, why, and when. I went a little bit early last time, but our question is we're going to look to the stars for this question, and the answer is, what constellation is this? Is it Orion? Is it Pegasus? Is it Ursa Major, which is the Big Dipper, or Aquarius? I mean, constellations always got me when you look at them up into the stars and you see them and you're like, oh, look, it's a lion. Really? Oh, look, it's a crab. I don't know. What does that look like? Does it look like Orion? Does it look like a Pegasus? Does it look like a Dipper, a Big Dipper? Or does it look like an Aquarius? I don't know. I like looking at stars. I like looking at telescopes and constellations that are coming up like that. But yes, which one is it? Do you think it's Orion? Do you think it's Pegasus, the Big Dipper, or Aquarius? What do we think we're looking at there? The answer is yes, Ursa Major. It is the Big Dipper. Good one. It looks like a big spatula. And this smaller dipper looks like a smaller spatula. Yes. Question again, another image coming up. What is this a zoomed in image of? Is it a zoomed in image of lizard scales, cat's paws, human tongue, or surface of a raspberry? Do you think it is a zoomed in image of Okay, what do we think? Just while you're waiting, Nadine has just tweeted in to say quizzing with Pick Your Brain, which is great. And she asked, is quizzing a verb? If not, I think it should be. Quizzing is definitely, hopefully, a verb. But yes, Nadine, do you think this time that's a zoomed in image of lizard scales, cat's paw, human tongue, or surface of a raspberry? They could be either or any of them, but it's definitely one of them, and it is definitely a human tongue. Some people think that there's different parts of your tongue that have different taste buds. Not any part of your tongue can taste different things, but that was a zoomed in image. We're going to try another image this time. Which scientist is associated with the image below? So which of those scientists is most associated with the image? Red is Einstein, Marie Curie, Charles Darwin, and Stephen Hawking. Which of those images do you think is associated with the image, or those people, scientists, is associated with the image up above? Is it Einstein, Curie, Darwin, or Hawking? What do we think it is? Is this the one that breaks your answer streak? Is this the one that gets your answer streak going or continues it? Darren was on a big streak there earlier on. Michael, who had said if he wins the quiz by a whole heap, in fact, would he get all the prizes? We'll see. No is the answer, I don't think, at this stage. But which scientist is it's Charles Darwin, yes, theory of evolution. So yes, Charles Darwin is the answer to that question. This one again next question is going to be put them in order. So you're going to have a little bit more time at this one. You're going to organize these events from oldest to most recent. The options for you are going to be on screen in a second. You're going to be able to drag them and then hit submit. It's going to be first human on the moon, discovery that the Earth orbits the sun, the use of stone tools, and when photography was invented. So pick the oldest, put that first, then the next, and then the most recent as last, and then hit submit. First human on the moon, discovery that Earth orbits the sun, the use of stone tools, and photography invented. Work it out. Have a think about it. What do you think was the most recent thing that happened? maybe start that way? Or what do you think was the thing that definitely happened first? And then that gives you your 2 bookends at each end, and then you can try and figure out the middle 2. And that might be easier way to go. Doesn't matter which end you start at. Just try and reason it out. Have a look at it. First human on the moon. When did that happen? When did we first start using tools? That kind of stuff. When was photography invented? And when did we discover the Earth orbits the sun? 3, 2, 1. Yeah, I mean, this one's going to, yeah, that's the one we've most got right there. It's use of stone tools, Earth orbiting the sun, photography invented, and then first human on the moon. Next one. What planet is this? There's a big clue in the middle of it. That might, well, if you do, like everything, it's in our solar system because the options are only in our solar system. Is it Mars, Saturn, Jupiter, or Earth? Got a few questions here that are starting to, hopefully get your streak going here. And we can make people start jumping up the leaderboard. Second last round. Again, like I said, we're running a little bit late, so apologies about that. But you're going to be able to see what's happening here now and answer the questions. I'm coming up now. Which planet is this? I mean, like, what do we normally call Mars? It has a name. Is that what that looks like? Saturn, most commonly, yeah, Jupiter. Okay, well done over there. There's the large spot in the middle, giant storm. Mars is the red planet. Saturn has rings, and Earth looks like a pale blue dot in the distance. Next question coming up. One of the zoomed in ones again. This looks amazing. What is this a zoomed in image of? Is it leg hair? I hope not. Oh, microorganisms, Velcro, or insect legs? Okay, could it be insect leg hair? I don't know. So leg hair, microorganisms, Velcro, or insect legs? What do we think it is? Zoomed in image of. Lots of, like, one of the most fascinating things you can ever do is looked in at zoomed in images of and try and figure out, like, microscopic images. Again, with science, chemists, physicists, biologists all work together. Sometimes the physicists will help design the technology to be used, and an engineer will help figure it out, and you could be the most amazing engineer in the world working in biology and still be working in technology. Here we go, Velcro. Yes, it's those hooky things that come in around, inspired by nature to be able to hook and then make that noise that comes off when you rip it. Like a toad, a ribbit? Never mind. Organize these ones from smallest to largest. So again, order, then hit submit. You're going to see them on screen now in a second. These are technology based. Zettabyte, megabyte, kilobyte, or terabyte. What is the smallest? What is the next smallest? All the way up to the largest. What do we think is the answer for this? Pick, if you've heard of one of them before, maybe start with that one, and do you think it's bigger or smaller? Have you ever heard the word terabyte in Word? Think of where you might have observed that previously. Think of megabyte, think of kilobyte, think of zettabyte. Where do you think? If there's one you don't know, maybe get the other 3 in order and then hit submit with the last one, and away you go, and you're away in a hack, and that's fine. But yes, have a think about which ones technology you might be able to use. Again, technologists will work across all disciplines in science. So this is about figuring out where we know in terms of size and capacity, what space things take up. Which ones have you heard before? You've got 3 seconds. Don't forget to hit submit on the answers. It is smallest is a kilobyte, next is a megabyte, then there's a terabyte, and then there's a zettabyte. So kilo, mega, tera, zetta. All the way down. Kilo obviously being 1,000 by around 1,000. 1,024 bytes as far as I remember. What image is this diagram associated with? Now, it appears that middle image hasn't come up in the second. So if there hasn't come up, the middle image seems to have not loaded properly. So in the interest of fairness in this, I will tell you that the answer is red. Because there is no image coming up in the middle of this for me. It's supposed to be of a plant cell. For some reason, it has not loaded on the screen. So in the interest of fairness for everybody, select red. That is the right answer. It was a plant cell, and it had a cell wall around it, so it was going to be able to, like a plant cell or an animal cell. But it's definitely a plant cell, so it's red, a leaf. The image hasn't loaded, so the other ones won't be correct. Red is the right answer. This is the easiest question. I'm wondering if anybody gets this. I'm not lying to you. don't worry. The answer is definitely red, because I had seen this question before we got it. Great. 2 people still went with heart. That's okay. That's fair enough. I'm sorry about that, but yes, that's fair enough. The answer was red. Moving on to the next question quickly. Apologies about that. Where would you find the largest salt flat in the world? Is it in India? Is it in Bolivia? Is it in Australia? Or is it in South Africa? So a salt flat is a flat plain, covered in salt usually, and where they usually do the land speed records, where they get cars or things or motorbikes to fly along as fast as they can and see if they can break the record previously set, rocker cars or anything else. But they're really incredibly flat, and they have a layer of salt at the top. Do you think the largest one in the world, though, is in India? Is it in Bolivia? Is it in Australia? Or is it in South Africa? This is the penultimate question of this round. Then we've one more round to go after that, and then we're out of here awarding prizes. We should be done here in about 10 minutes or so. But yes, how are your questions? Where is the largest salt flat in the world? India, Bolivia, Australia, or South Africa? Don't forget to tag it. Bolivia is where the largest salt flat in the world. It's usually associated with it there. You can see that at Bolivia, and that's where they do some of the land speed records. Last question in this round. What is the name of the world's largest desert? Not dessert, which is disappointing. But yes, is it the Sahara Desert? Is it the Antarctic Desert? Is it the Gobi Desert? Or is it the Australian Desert? Where is the driest place on Earth at a big scale? Is it the Sahara Desert? Is it the Antarctic? Is it the Gobi? Is it the Australian? Where is the world's largest desert? Where do we think it is? Don't forget to keep sending in your messages and pictures to #PickYourBrain, especially that person who said they've seen people lick their elbows. That, it will blow the scientific research out of the water. But yes, here at the BT Young Scientists, we are going through our questions with Science Foundation Ireland. We've one round left to go through. What is the name of the world's largest desert? Sahara Desert, Antarctic Desert, Gobi, or Australian? Where is it? It is in the Antarctic, which is the driest place on Earth, which is hard to believe considering there is so much ice up there, but because it's so cold, it is the driest. The Antarctic Desert is the last. We're going to take a look at our leaderboard before we go into our final round. Still at the top, Fintan. Good work. Darren has moved up into second. Niall has... Oh, no, sorry. Niall has dropped down. Fintan's up. Niall is chopping and changing at the top. Erin name is still there. Aoife's still there too. Top 5 is there. But... tough round 3 was players lost their streak. A lot of them found that round a little bit difficult for some of the questions. But yes, things have changed again. And the people who are just below in 6th all the way down, they're only separated by 2,000 points. So yes, very close. We're going into our last round, which is riddles and puzzles. So this game, you will be riddled with answers here. This is the last round. We've got some questions. Points are available. Anybody all the way down up to 15th has a chance still to win in this. And things have changed in the last couple of rounds. So let's get on with it. Last round, how many times does the letter F appear in the sentence below? Seems simple. How many, count the times the number of F appears in the sentence below? 3, 4, 6, or none. How many times does the letter F appear in the sentence below? In black, only in the black. Not with the red bit there. But so is it 3, 4, 6, or none? How many times does the letter F appear? Is it an optical thing? Is it something that we've tried before? Have you seen it before? Count the number of Fs. Is there a way that you could do this scientifically to make sure that you don't make a mistake? Or is there a way that you think that your brain might be tricking you? The answer is 6. Yes, most people think 3. It is very common. Your brain is set up that it skips what it thinks is unuseful or useless information, and it spots danger. So you skip the obs. So if you go back again, I'll tweet this out later on at Phyllis Science or at the thing. You'll be able to see these images later on so you can check them. But there are 6 Fs. I trust you. I promise to you, there is no mistake in this one. Next question. Count the number of black dots in this picture. How many black dots are in this image? Is it none? Is it 4? Is it 12? Or is it 1? Again, feel free to get up close to the screen. Use your zoom feature, which is your legs walking closer to the screen or putting your head closer to the screen. How many black dots are in this image? The crew, we're having a look at it now. Seeing if they're counting now, they're having an argument about it. So some think different things. But yes, how many black dots are in it? And two people are adamant of opposite answers, which is a good thing to go through here. Is it none? Is it 4? Is it 12? Is it 1? Is it you? Is it me? Is it who? Is it you? It is none, 4, 12, or 1. What do we think? How many black dots are in this image? The answer is 12. It throws people off a bit of time. When you look at one of the black dots, your peripheral vision blanks out the other ones. So some people think that there's none and it's their blind spot they're saying, but there's actually 12 dots. Again, I'll tweet this out later on so you can have a look at it and see what the question is. Next one. Which of these arrows is the longest? 1, 2, 3, or none? So the top one, the second one, the third one, or none of them is the longest. Think about questions we've been asking in the last few. There's obviously a trick in some of them. Scientifically, or is there a way, how would you design an experiment or a process that would allow you to make sure you don't make a mistake or to figure out which is the longest? What would you do apart from just looking at them? How would you solve this problem? If you were just asked on a building site, imagine you're in charge of running something and like someone asks you, Judy, how do you work this thing? And you kind of go, oh, okay, well, that one's the longest. How would you actually be sure? What would you do? How would you design it? What would you figure out? Could you just put your hands on the screen? Yeah, put your hands on the screen. None of them. They're all exactly the same length. It's the arrows at the other side that actually make you think one way or the other. But none of them. They're all actually the same length. Next question, moving on quickly, is name the scientist. It's a puzzle. What are you seeing? Just say what you see. And this is like one of the questions that we practiced earlier on. You enter the name in the type box below and then you hit submit. So name the scientist. What do you see? What are each of these things, components of a name? So what's the first image of? What's the second image of? What's the third image of? What's the fourth image of? And those things all together make up a name. So if I had a picture of this, it would be cup, and then cup with something else makes a word. So if there's a picture there, what is that a picture of? And what does that word make up a name of? So that's it. So name the scientist. So put what you think it is in the blue box and then hit submit and see what you think the answer is. Even if you name one of them, one of the bits, it might give you a clue to the rest of it. They were an answer, potential answer in one of the previous rounds, I think, maybe? Were they? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not. So name the scientist. These are kind of just a ding about what do you think this is a name of? What could it possibly be? I don't know. Did I give a clue? I don't know. What is that? What's the last thing? Maybe start at what's the last thing? It is a something weight. Yes. It is Isaac. Yeah, Isaac Newton was the answer. Yeah, Newton. Yeah, good work there, Isaac Newton. We got someone spelled it right there. That's not very good. No problem at all. Isaac Newton was the answer. So it was I, and then a sack, and then a knee, and then a ton weight. So Isaac Newton. There you go. I, sack, knee, ton. So Isaac Newton. Good. Make sense? Okay. Another riddle coming up now. Who said this? So it's a mathematical formula. Who said that? They're in a film, if that's any clue to you. Have a think about it, what it was. So what do you see? What's there? The number is, and you might not have seen the second symbol before. If there's someone else in the room, quick, ask them. What does an 8 on its side mean? Or that kind of a shape. It's not actually an 8, but it's that kind of shape. Looks like a Mobius strip. You know what a Mobius strip is? You might Google what's an 8 on its side. So it's 2 something and something. Who says it? Who is the person who says it? It's in a film, multiple films actually, animated films. What do we think the answer is? 2 something and something. What is it do we think it is? So enter your answer in the type box and then hit submit. Don't forget to submit because you are playing for an Apple Watch, AirPods, Google Nest Mini, but we're actually really just having a bit of crack. How do we think? We've got a few questions left in this round. What do we think the answer is? It's yes. Buzz Aldrin, very close. Buzz Lightyear, was the name of it. So yes, Buzz Lightyear. To infinity, that symbol on its side is an infinity, and beyond D. So it was B on D, so beyond D. So to infinity and beyond. If you got the to infinity bit, generally you would have got the next one. Next one. Okay, this one, I love this question. Love, love, love this question. I am the only organ that named myself. What am I? I am the only organ that named myself. What am I? Have a think. I'm the only organ that named myself. What am I? If I was an organ, I'd probably name myself Phil. Phil the organ. I am the only organ. So it's an organ in the human body that named myself. What am I? Type your answer in the green box this time and then hit submit. I really do like this question. Very good. Organ, yeah, good. The brain. Yeah, the brain is the only question. I did type brine the first time I put this answer in. But yes, the brain is the only organ because it's the one that thinks and does all its work. So the brain named itself. Bad, but you kind of think of it. Anyway, yes. Quick puzzle question. Maths this time. Ah, I love maths. Maths is awesome. Able to think. So the next question is, you're going to be able to solve this puzzle. You might have seen sometimes people push these out on social media, but type your answer. What do you think is the solution to this? If a pink ice cream equals 5, and 2 brown ice creams and 1 pink ice cream equals 17, what does a brown and a pink ice cream multiplied by 2, added together, multiplied by 2 equal? So, plug the numbers in. So if you've got, you know that equals 5, that means 2 brown ice creams plus 5 equals 17. So how would you work that out? See what you think. This is it's to get you kind of applying maths to ice cream problems. Ice cream problems are some of the greatest problems facing the world today. It's just how to get more ice cream would be great. Or, like ice cream that doesn't have to be made from dairy, which is nice. Or yogurt. Or actually, yeah, I'm hungry now. But it's getting to that stage. We're just about finished in the next couple of minutes. I've only, 4 questions left, 5 questions left. So still a chance to go. What answer do we think this is? Moving through, we're going to hit end the question now in 2 seconds. Players, type your answer. It is 22 is the answer coming through. So you put the pink in, so 17. So 17 minus 5. 34 of you got it right. Congratulations, well done. Moving on to the next question. Another movie question coming up now. This is a symbol. What movie is this? If you don't even know the movie, you might be able to work. It's a math symbol and a flag. What do we think it is? Where is the flag from? What is the symbol of? Where is the flag from? What is the symbol of? Where is the flag from? What is the symbol of? I have no musical talent, and that's very obvious. But that's okay, because no one's listening to me. They're focusing on the quiz, unless you've submitted your answers. The word in this is spelt like the word and not like the symbol. Thank you for that information. Yes, American Pie. Life of Pi was a great guess, but yes, American Pie, flag, American flag, and pie, the symbol pi, so American Pie. Last question. Oh no, it's not last question. 4 questions. We got last question. Last question actually gave a clue. One of the other questions gave a clue to this earlier on, which was what element is associated with this image? It's an image of bananas. Is gold? Is it potassium? Is it water? Or is it hydrogen? We did give a clue to this earlier on, so we're just recalling the data that you had earlier on, which is what element is associated with this image? Is it gold? Is it potassium? Is it water? Is it hydrogen? This is one of the normal clicky questions that you have. We have 2 more of these questions after this, and then 2 more riddles, and then we're done, and we're out. And then we will find out who has won the Apple Watch, who has won the Google Nest, and who has won the AirPods. I'm still fascinated by something. I still like the brain question a lot. Really like the brain question. That's very good. Element potassium. Yes, very good. Bananas are full of potassium. K on the periodic table of elements. Very good. We'll move on to what element is associated with this. Next, is it the Milky Way? Is it calcium, uranium, or silver? So, yes, what element is associated with this image, which is milk? Is it the Milky Way, calcium, uranium, or silver? Tea in the morning is great. However, it has gone cold, and that is awful. So, Milky Way, calcium, uranium, or silver. What element is associated? You've seen the ads, them. Oh, I know I nearly sang a song that would have given it away. Again, sing a song. I've realised again that I should not sing because the musical talent thing, need to let that go. Milky Way, calcium, uranium, silver. What do we think is the element here? Yes, calcium. Yes, calcium, them bones do need calcium. Everybody got that right. The first question that everybody right. That campaign worked. Them bones do need calcium and they need prizes. So you've got 3 questions left. Here we go. 3 questions. Number 3, less ready to go. What element is associated with this image? Is it the element Green Lantern? Is it opal? Is it krypton? Or is it lithium? So remember, speed and correct answer gives you the right answer, gives you more points. So the quicker and the faster you answer, but the answer correctly gives you more points. Green Lantern, opal, krypton. The points are very close at the top. We've just had a quick look. Things could still swap around at this stage, but Green Lantern, opal, krypton, or lithium, which ones do we think it is? 2 questions left after this. Green Lantern, opal, krypton, lithium, which do we think it is? That appears to be superhero, Superman, and someone holding something. It is krypton, yes. His Achilles heel. Krypton, which is an element on the periodic table of elements. Penultimate question, the second last question, and it is a riddle. Where is the one place that the American flag flies all the time, but it is never raised, lowered, and never saluted? Where is the one place the American flag flies all the time, never raised, never lowered, and never saluted? Where could it be? Have a think. Second last question. This question, looking at the leaderboard, could make the difference between people swapping and getting prizes or not. I mean, like, I've had a bit of fun. I've enjoyed it. This has been great crack. I actually have learned a lot. There's been a couple of things where I've gone, oh, the quiz will be available. The moon! Very good. Good answer. Yes, the moon is out because of there's no atmosphere up there, so it never gets blown or moved around. It just sits up there. No one lives there, so there's no one there to salute it or move it down. So yes, that's it. Our very last question is one of those dingbat type ones where you have to figure out the pictures, find out the sentence. This question could mean something. What is this row? What is that spelling out? What does it actually spell out? Think about where we are today. What else is happening yesterday, today, and tomorrow? Say what you see. Type what you see. In fact, it's not catchphrase. I'm not Roy Walker. I don't have the just say what you see. Is not here. But yes, please have a go. Type it in. So don't forget to hit submit. What's in the top left? What's the image of? What's the other one? And what the final group of images are kind of a little bit hard to see. But if you, Glenn, use your zoom feature, which is, look, I'm smaller and further away. But when I zoom, I get bigger. Your zoom feature is your feet or your head. Move it closer to the screen. Have a look. Yes, it's the BT Young scientists. They were scientists, all women scientists there. Fantastically. That is the end of our quiz. We are about to see our winners in a second. Answers. Your winners will take a screenshot of. Please do take a screenshot of your when it tells you on your screen where you've come. I need you to email scienceweek@sfi.ie or get in touch with us over social media. But scienceweek@sfi.ie, send it to us. But our winners, the leaderboard for today is coming up on your screens now. The podium in third place, Winning. Darren, well done. You went on an amazing streak. Well done. You have won the Google Nest. In second, Niall McGovern, congratulations. You have won the AirPods. And in first, at the very top, is Fintan Lawler. Congratulations. You have won the Apple Watch. Well done to all of you. And in fourth and fifth place, everybody else. But actually, at the end, everything bunched up really close. We're sorry that we ran a little bit late. These things just got a bit longer. Thank you so much for joining. And well done, actually, everybody, for getting up and doing this. School is off, and you didn't have to be here. And if you're here, you're doing the right thing. I know we said that the snow was the biggest news of the night last night, but the stuff happened in America as well. Always being aware of science or anything else that's happening allows you to delineate what's true, what's false, look at the evidence, come up, inform yourselves, find out what you like, find out what careers you can do and how you can marry the two together. The BT Young Scientists here today is actually about exploring what you can do with science, technology, engineering and maths and seeing where you can go and how you can help the world. Take a look at not even just what's on the screen, at the other projects that are out there from across Ireland. Be proud of what Ireland is doing and what you were doing, even just by being here today and finding out a little bit of information, or if it was just to win a prize. You got up, you did something, you took part, and that's important. Taking part and trying things. Thank you to Science Foundation Ireland for sponsoring, but really being part of this quiz and the BT Young Scientist this year and everywhere. Thanks to BT, Media Coop, Rebecca, Colin, Aveen, Christine, everybody who's made it happen. I've been Phil. We'll put up some of the images on Instagram. You follow me on Phil of Science or Phil82 on Twitter. You'll find me somewhere. We'll put up some of the optical illusion images. But thank you for joining us and take a look at what else is happening this year at the BT Young Scientists. See you next time. Bye.